What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at some clinch work as I prepare for my upcoming karate combat fight. So in case you are unaware, karate combat has now added knees into the arsenal of the techniques you're allowed to throw. That means it's time to return to clinch work. I stopped doing clinch about 5 years ago because the kickboxing promotions, Glory, Bellator, were not allowing it anymore. No knees, no clinch, knees, but no excessive clinch. So I went, it's kind of a waste of my time. I might as well focus on other aspects. But now that I'm allowed to throw knees and you can utilize the clinch in karate combat, I might as well get back to it. So we're going to look at some of the finer points here. Starting off with this little throw. Let's look at that slow motion. Right knee goes on the inside of his thigh, and then from there, turn. The right arm elevates his left arm, and then they're off balance. Trying to find ways to isolate or restrict movement in limbs makes it so much easier to land throws. And I got to be honest with you guys, I'm feeling pretty rusty on my clinch work right now because I have not been pushing it for so long. But we're going to go through, look at what I'm doing right, look what I'm doing wrong. Attempted sweep right there that I missed. If you can ever get this position where you take their back, you saw if you noticed how I kind of pulsed on the pull, that makes it so much easier to clap somebody and throw them to the ground. So a couple little attempts there. On the second, I was being nice. I didn't want to hurt his back, so I didn't commit fully to it. But overall, this is a fantastic way to work your timing, strengthen your arms. Good little throw there again. Clinch work is one of my favorite things to do. If you can put in 10, 15 minutes every training session, you're going to get so much more confident in your inside game. If you were watching right there, you would have noticed that I off balance and knee. That's a massive part of Muay Thai clinch. Take advantage of trying to make the person weak, have to establish or regain their balance, and then attack them with the knee. I learned a lot in Thailand, moving around with the Thai fighters over there. They tossed me so many times before I finally landed my first throw, and then they tossed me a bunch more, and then I started landing multiple throws per training session. The big thing that I took from them was don't put too much muscle into every movement you do. You're loose, you're relaxed, and then you explode into the motion, kind of like jiu-jitsu. Beautiful throw there from Siraj. Let's look at what I should have done. My left leg, I should have pulled the heel to my glute right there, so I could have gone over it. That's how you stop yourself from getting thrown with those little sweeps. Back to my feet. Right away I'm thinking, I got to get him back. I don't get thrown too often. When I do, got to reciprocate. So here we go. Get to the inside. And a little toss, but he does such an awesome danger roll. I call it little shoulder roll, Aikido style out of it, that his move is actually cooler than mine. Look at that. Avoid head contact, comes right up, no problem. We're going to be going through 2 rounds of clinch today. This is the first one, where there's a little bit more in the way of throws. In the second, which is going to start in 3, 2, 1, we're putting a little more muscle, a little bit more tenseness into the body. Becomes a little more difficult to throw, but we knew we were only doing 2 rounds, so we decided to elevate the intensity a bit. This is a little off balance there, followed by the knee, which is so important to maintain control of your opponent, to make sure they're not always comfortable. I like to skip sometimes, get the knee up to head level, even though I wouldn't actually throw it, obviously, in training. It's good to practice. Pull it 6 to 12 inches away from their face. You see how I get my hand on the inside of his arm when he's clinching my head? That will give me an advantage in controlling myself to make sure he can't pull me straight down. So many fine little details which make a massive difference in your ability to escape or control people. I can talk you guys through so much. You can learn so much in this episode, but really push comes to shove. It's getting in there and putting in the time, which is going to make you so much better, so much more confident in your in-tight game. And let me tell you from experience, once you develop the in-tight game, you get more confident in your boxing in-tight because you know if you get hit, you have somewhere that you can fall back to, which is your clinch. If you get double hand around the guy's neck, it's very easy to control, off-balance them, collapse them if you want. I just try not to be too aggressive in the amount of power I put in. Try and do 20, 30% maximum. If I really wanted to throw him down or pull his head into my knee, I would really start up-down jerking on it and drop a lot of weight, push my forearms into his chest, make life really uncomfortable for him. But we don't want to do that when we're training. Maybe in the fight, but not in a training session. The one element that is obviously missing from the clinch work that I do is the elbows. I've never been fighting with the purpose of throwing elbows in full Muay Thai. I guess I had a couple fights where I trained for it, but they fell through. But I don't bother anymore. I just go, it's not an element of my game, so I might as well just get the clinch done without worrying about elbows. If I ever do take a full Muay Thai fight, I will add those in. Obviously, when I was doing my MMA fights, I was training a little bit of elbow work. The shin across the thigh is a good way to stall your opponent. It makes it very difficult for them to follow up. And we're about to wrap up the round here, guys. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed the episode, the clinch work, please give the video a like. If you have not already, join the channel, get subscribed. As always, train hard, and I will see you back here soon for another episode.